We've reached the 11th day of competition at the European Championships in Glasgow 2018 and the grand finale. And what a way to finish! Coming up, diving, open water swimming and gymnastics highlights, but first action from the city's streets. We start with the last of the 30 cycling events that have been held at Glasgow. The men's road race. Peter Sagan won the first ever elite men's European crown in 2016. And last month, despite crashing on stage 17, he won the green jersey for the 6th time at the Tour de France.
I am here more about to try. Yeah, no pressure. I did 1 week of recovery, my healing my wounds what I got in Tour de France, and I'm getting better, but still I am not 100%. I'm here more just to try and to see how it's going to be, the final. It's pretty technical, some climbs. It's also pretty fast, but it's gonna be for everybody the same. Could be good parkour. The fans around the parkour and around the world giving us a lot of energy, I think, and you can feel it, like atmosphere of the race. It's much better to race with a lot of people around. It's nice, I appreciate it from the fans. After the hard season, what I already did, then the last crash, what I did, I finished Tour de France, I took a little bit rest and 3 days holiday. After I got on the bicycle, and I am here more to be present in the race, and maybe I can just surprise, but I don't know to predict the race.
Sagan was joined in a high-class field for the men's road race by the man wearing number 1, Norway's defending champion Alexander Kristoff, who was the winner in the final sprint on the Champs-Élysées last month. And the current world and European champions were joined by the reigning Olympic champion too, Greg van Avermaet of Belgium.
Away we go, 230 kilometres, 16 laps of the Glasgow City course, and all to crown the men's European champion for 2018. Will the brilliant Peter Sagan reclaim his Euro jersey? Or will some of the other teams work together efficiently enough to deny him the platform?
The first break on lap 1 of 16 came from Roland Thalmann of Switzerland, who attempted to make light of the wet and windy conditions and a temperature of just 14 degrees. But at least it wasn't as wet as it was during the 2014 Commonwealth Games, when huge storms meant only 12 of the 139 athletes finished the men's road race. Nevertheless, the unpleasant conditions made for cautious racing from the 136 competitors this time. Italy won the women's race through Marta Bastianelli and had serious contenders in Elia Viviani, who had already won 2 medals in the velodrome, Matteo Trentin and David Cimolai, who impressed in the sprint stages at this year's Tour de France. The rainiest day of the championships led to a whole host of riders suffering mechanical issues, including Sagan, who required a new tyre. The world champion pulled out of the race 50 kilometres later, with just over a third of it still to go. Several of the leaders crashed out of the race on the cobbles of Buchanan Street, and ultimately only 50 riders completed the course. 5 hours into the race, and with 55 kilometres to go, Xandro Maurice of Belgium made the key break from the pack. He opened up a 20-second gap, which ultimately split the field. With 35 kilometres left, the race for medals was down to 10 riders, including 2 from Belgium, 2 from Italy, and 2 from the Netherlands. By the bell, the top 10 were 2.5 minutes clear of the chasing peloton.
Oh, goodness me. Well, we said there'd be some drama. We said there'd be a moment that might decide this race, and was that the moment?
By the time the riders turned the final corner, after 229.5 kilometres of racing, there were 6 men in the hunt for gold.
This is the home straight, 300 metres to go. Really winding things up here. It's Cimolai out in front of Italy. Will he be the European champion? Here comes the sprint though. It's going to be Trentin. Is Trentin of Italy going to take it? Van der Poel driving hard. Trentin takes it for Italy. Italy do the double on the road. Unbelievable stuff. A fantastic race and an unlikely winner. Italy win the women's race through Bastianelli. They win the men's race through Matteo Trentin. And there you can see, clear as day, the three medalists. Trentin of Italy, Van der Poel of the Netherlands, and Van Aert of Belgium. We wondered how much was still in the legs of the sprinters. Well, one sprinter came through to become European champion, Matteo Trentin.
So, to the penultimate event in the Royal Commonwealth pool, the women's synchronised 3-metre springboard final, throwing up the prospect of a second gold for local girl Grace Reed. Together with partner Catherine Torrance, they got off to a fine start.
Dive piked for Reed and Torrance. It's a nice tidy start.
But it was the Russian pair Bazina and Ilinik leading the pack early on.
Very controlled.
Heading into round 3, and it was all change.
Italy next. Well, that's the gauntlet thrown down.
A good dive would see Reed and Torrance take the lead.
Well, they're avoiding the big mistakes.
Into the final dive, Bertocchi and Pellicani would need to find a little bit of magic.
3.0, back 2.5 somersault, piked in silver position. Can they grab the top of the podium? Another accomplished looking dive.
Reed and Torrance now just needed to hold their nerve for the gold.
Oh dear, didn't need to be sensational, it did need to be safe. Catherine Torrance lost it completely. Well, we get drama and stories right to the final dive here in Edinburgh. Tears of joy for Italy. Bertocchi and Pellicani take the gold.
So, on to the men's 10-metre platform final, and it was business as usual for Russia's Alexander Bondar.
Pretty slick.
Britain's Matthew Lee, though, was providing some serious competition.
Oh, another splendid effort.
Third in the morning preliminaries, France's Benjamin Offray was also in touching distance.
He does make his dives look good on entry.
Bondar, though, was looking every bit the gold medalist.
This is the big dive. Lee still has his to go. He really has found terrific form in here, Alexander Bondar.
With 2 dives remaining, Lee now needed to take his chance.
So here it comes, the big one from Matty Lee, the 3.7. Big mistake, could sacrifice his position. He's not got that one away. Now that could make a big difference to the podium.
With the main challenge for gold gone, Bondar just needed to keep it simple.
Back 2.5 somersault, 2.5 twists, piked. No problem. He has been the class act on the platform. Dominant this morning, dominant this afternoon. In the lead from gun to tape.
Gold then for Alexander Bondar, and the end to a fantastic week's diving. Finals day at a rain-soaked Gleneagles as 8 teams fought it out for the 6 medals on offer in both the men's and women's tournaments. Semi-final 1 between Great Britain and Sweden saw unbeaten Laura Davis and Georgia Hall 3 up through 13, but the game was turned on its head over the last few holes.
And then all sorts of trouble for Britain at the 18th. This is Georgia Hall. Sweden, after being 3 down after 13, come back to win it.
In the second semi, the other British team who made it through would be sunk by France within 14 holes. This birdie sealing a spot in the final against Sweden. After winning the mixed event the day before, Berger half Thorson's putter was still hot.
This for a birdie.
They beat Spain for a shot at a second gold medal. Spain had narrowly missed out on a medal the day before, but a 2-shot win over Italy sealed a place in the final and guaranteed at least a silver. So it was an all-British affair in the women's bronze medal match, with nothing to separate the two sides up until the halfway point. A missed birdie chance for Michelle Thompson was followed by her teammate missing par to go 1 down.
Oh dear, dear.
Sweden streaked off to an early 3-point lead in the gold medal match. Back to all square in the all-British bronze match, Hall and Davis found themselves in trouble at 12. But after recovering to get themselves on the green in 3, they couldn't retake the lead. The start of the back 9 for the French team of Justine Dreher and Manon Mull would bring changing fortunes despite the increasingly challenging conditions. The Swedes struggling with the wet greens.
You don't want to open the door for the opposing team.
Thompson and McLaren were closing in on the bronze, going 2 up at the 15th. Winning the 17th would secure the bronze medal, a second of the weekend for the British pair.
Oh, that's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty.
Another missed par putt for Linda Vestberg at the 11th brought France back into it, now just 1 down. A birdie putt for Laura Davis at 17 to take the match to the last hole.
Well, it's not the last chance, it's almost the last chance. A 2 down, 2 to play. It has to go in. It hasn't. So bronze medal goes to Megan McLaren and Michelle Thompson.
At the 17th, Sweden had the chance to close the match out.
No, never give her a chance.
France looked set to bring the match back to all square with a hole left to play, but they remained 1 down.
They just haven't been able to hold a putt today.
On the final green of regulation play, Kesha Persson had a putt for the gold.
Well, no gold medal winning putt for Sweden.
Manon Mull's putt was now crucial to take the match to a playoff.
Brilliant. What a fantastic putt.
It would take 2 holes to decide the medal, but it wasn't meant to be for France. A missed bogey putt giving Sweden the gold.
Kaisha Persson and Linda Westberg, who take gold for Sweden at the 20th hole.
So gold for Sweden, the silver goes to France, and Great Britain take bronze. The wet conditions at Gleneagles made things difficult in the men's competition, but Italy made a fast start.
It's a lovely putt for Tadini there.
A playoff loss in the mixed event denied Spain a medal. A silver now guaranteed, they were looking to top the podium. And a missed putt at the first for Iceland gave them an early lead. The par 3 6th had provided birdies for many teams over the course of the tournament. Italy would look to extend their lead here.
Oh, it's a lovely shot. Beautiful shot from Tadini.
A huge putt for Francesco Laporta put Italy 4 up.
Oh, in you go.
The Spaniards were 3 up on Iceland at the turn, but couldn't extend their lead on the back 9 of the Gleneagles Centenary course. Italy had attacked the course in the most difficult conditions to have things all but wrapped up at hole 15. David Borda would have to make this putt to keep the match alive.
And I think that should just about be that. Yes, it is. It's an Italian win for bronze.
By the time it had got to 18, the tides had turned in the gold medal match. Iceland sat just 1 down on Spain. A birdie putt for half Thorson would take the match to a playoff.
He hold the must make at 17, but he can't do it at 18.
But it wasn't to be, and Scott Fernandez would have the final shot to seal the title for Spain. So Spain are the European champions and claim gold. Iceland take the silver medal, while the bronze goes to Italy. The European Open Water Swimming Championships ended at Loch Lomond with two of the most gruelling events in swimming, the men's and women's 25 kilometres. A sapping 5-hour marathon that involves feeding stations, big lungs and a lot of willpower. In the men's 25 kilometre event, Netherlands star of the championships Ferry Vertman pulled out before the race, wanting to end his games on a high after winning gold in the 10 kilometre and mixed team relay. Instead, he joined us in the commentary box. As the field started, 5 kilometre gold and 10 kilometre silver medalist Krzysztof Rosowski took a leisurely approach to starting proceedings.
Krzysztof Rosowski waving to the photographers before diving in, but there's no great rush.
The favourite for the gold was Frenchman, world champion Axel Raymond, and he was leading going into the final lap.
It's the climax of the men's 25k race, and still the world and European champion Axel Raymond in front in the blue cap. Chased hard though. Here comes his sprint again. The straight arms of Axel Raymond signify that the burners are on. And the 25k race with a fantastic end in sight.
I think Krzysztof is speeding up more. Even after 5 hours of swimming.
And he's just overtaking it. It's Rosowski who's going to take the lead. Axel Raymond trying to stay with him, but it's...
Yeah, well, Axel is now in Krzysztof's hip, so he's not letting him get away.
Belayev now joining them. It's anybody's race. And Axel Raymond is struggling to keep up with them.
And now it's Krzysztof taking over.
But it's Krzysztof Rosowski, gold medal winner in the 5k this week, then pipped to silver in the 10k by Ferry Vertman. And he is now striding out. Furlan trying to take the silver.
But he is battling it out now with the Russian. So Axel might be able to get next to them now. And Krzysztof has a massive gap, and he's still swimming strong.
But still Rosowski leads. What an ending to the 25k race.
Does he see the Belayev on time?
Belayev trying to get there and claim gold. If he carries on this pace, Belayev is going to take it. Chasing Rosowski hard. Rosowski in the white cap. Can he get to the slapboard first? Belayev chasing him. Belayev trying to get there, but it's going to be Rosowski. Then Belayev. Then it's the Italian.
What a crazy finish.
Wow. The winning time, 4:57.53.5, but the European champion, Krzysztof Rosowski, with an outstanding race.
In the women's race, Dutch Supremo Sharon van Roovendaal was looking for her 4th gold of the championships, but made a crucial mistake on lap 8, not rounding a buoy.
This is an extraordinary tale for Sharon van Roovendaal, who's now going backwards so she can rejoin the race.
That wrong turn was costly, but she dredged up energy reserves from somewhere to work her way through the field and back into the lead.
Pretty opening up a little gap, and look at van Roovendaal, here she comes.
She's making her move.
This could be an exciting climax to this race, and what a story this would be. What's Bridie stopping for?
She'll be wanting to draft off Sharon, I reckon, unless her goggles have filled up and she wasn't able to.
Extraordinary.
I have not seen that before. Wow, she just handed it over to Sharon.
I wonder if Bridie thinks she can out-sprint Van Roovendaal. That is the question still to be decided. But it's still Van Roovendaal. Van Roovendaal accelerating. Bridie on her shoulder. It's still Van Roovendaal. Bridie coming strong. The two swimmers desperately close. Here comes Bridie right to the death. Bridie could well take it. It's Bridie. It's Van Roovendaal. Oh, who got it?
Ariana.
Yes, it's Bridie who's got it with an exceptional finish.
The SSE Hydro in Glasgow has played host to a wonderful European Gymnastics Championships, and with 6 men's individual medals available on the final day, crowds were in for a treat. The first title up for grabs was on Pommel Horse, which produced a fascinating battle between Great Britain's Olympic champion Max Whitlock and Ireland's Commonwealth champion Rhys McClenaghan. Whitlock was up first.
very good control. Oh, goodness me. Oh, absolutely extraordinary. This most uncharacteristic moment from Max Whitlock just seemed to lose the balance slightly, perhaps. And needless to say, he carries with it a very hefty deduction.
So with the door wide open for McClenaghan, could he take gold?
This is looking very, very good. It's looking very, very good. Absolutely. That's the right reaction. Rhys McClenaghan has arrived at a European final. What a fine character. What a fine character. What a fine score. 15.3 for Rhys McClenaghan.
Next up, who could acrobat their way to floor gold? Russian Artur Dalalyan's 14.466 score was only enough for bronze. And it was silver for Israel and Artem Dolgopiat. The gold went to the hosts and Britain's Dominic Cunningham.
Finishes absolutely marvellously. What a display from Dominic Cunningham that was. I think they rather enjoyed it in the hydro.
When it comes to strength and poise, there isn't much better than Greece's Lord of the Rings, Eleftherios Petronius.
And opens up the hands so beautifully in the Maltese to show so much strength. And once more.
Despite struggling with a shoulder injury, he secured his 4th consecutive European title.
Oh, come now, it's just a joy to watch.
The vault was up next, and the defending champion, Russia's Artur Dalalyan, did not disappoint. That vault of 15.000 and a solid second effort was enough to secure gold and his second medal of the night. The Russians dominated qualifying on the parallel bars, but only the top 2 could compete in the final. Could Switzerland's Oliver Hegyi cause an upset?
Powerful dismount coming up. Just a small step as he landed it, but otherwise really well delivered from Oliver Hegyi.
But not well enough. Hegyi was quickly outdone by Russia's David Belyavsky, whose score of 15.166 propelled him into gold medal position, leaving his Russian teammate Artur Dalalyan to go.
Artur Dalalyan, Russian gymnast, going in search of yet another medal at these European Championships. 2 golds and a bronze so far. And he has been a very busy gymnast, competing in 3 finals so far. This is all looking very clean, very precise. Finishes absolutely superbly. A 15.433, and it means that Artur Dalalyan is the European champion on the parallel bars. Team champion, vault champion, bars champion. He's not leaving much for anyone else to get a hold of.
The last gymnastics gold of the evening was the high bar. The Flying Dutchman, 32-year-old Epke Zonderland, took silver and is still as exciting as ever. Swiss Hegyi was up next, hoping to turn 3rd into 1st.
Oliver Hegyi, the Swiss gymnast who's just taken a bronze medal on the parallel bars. That's an exceptionally difficult skill. It's a wonderful part of Hegyi's arsenal. The deft twist, now into the Kovac. It's wind-up time into a very high dismount. Oliver Hegyi is the European champion on the horizontal bar. He took the silver medal last year. Now he comes back for one better.
So that's it. The inaugural European Championships has come to a close. And what a day of action we ended on. We hope you've enjoyed the competition as much as we have.